We have taken this occasion to interact with each other on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti. And it's very appropriate because I want to quote Mahatma Gandhi. In his quote, he says, Isho Upanishad gives a summary of Sanatan Dharma. If somebody wants to know what are the essentials of Sanatan Dharma. So we'll start with that. Isha vasyamidam idam sarvayat yatkinch jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gradh kasya swadhanam. Translated, it means that everything whatever we see and do not see is Brahma. And if you do not understand this, then you are ignorant and you will suffer a lot of misery. So it says, Tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma gradh kasya swadhanam. So everything belongs to Bhagavan. And we think that it's mine. So you should not have that. You should have the feeling that everything belongs to Brahma. And we are only there to use and enjoy whatever we can. Because after we die, we will take nothing with us. Neither our husband, our wife, house, our land, the country, anything we leave behind. And this is not realized by many people. And many kings throughout history have thought that we'll conquer the earth and we'll rule. But they all perished in the sands of time. They all perished. So the reason I thought we'll talk about this today, because on Saturday, we had a gathering downtown Lima where we had multicultural expo. Different people of different cultures living in Lima, they displayed. And I talked about meditation. So why are we talking about meditation? Because meditation can be done by anybody. And you just have to learn how to do it. There are many benefits, scientifically proven benefits by research published in medical journals. It has many, many things it can do, but I'm talking about the things which are published in the medical journals. It helps reduce the stress, anxiety, depression, lowers the blood pressure, strengthens our immune system. We are suffering a lot from viral fever these days. And if we do proper yoga asanas and meditation, it is supposed to improve our immunity. It improves the memory. It grows new cells in the amygdala. आप म्यूट अपना, प्रियंका सिंह आप अपना वीडियो बंद करिए और ऑडियो भी म्यूट करिए. So it improves memory. And it's a good thing that I'm talking to the teachers, because you can pass on. I cannot address all the 1,800 students we're supposed to have. So I'm talking to the teachers so that they can pass it on. Please make notes. If you have paper and notes, pencil, make notes. So it helps improve the memory, and new cells have been demonstrated to grow in the brain, in the memory and the mood part of the brain. It regulates the mood. Sometimes you don't realize you are in a negative frame of mind, and everything you think of is negative. It increases self-awareness. It has been used even in treatment of addictions. I understand that addiction is becoming a problem in the students. I hope not in teachers, but it can help. How does it help the addiction? The mind controls the breathing, and the breathing controls the mind. If you control the mind by controlling the breathing, by doing pranayam, you can calm down the mind. It improves sleep. It's a problem a lot of us have faced from time to time. So what are the two important parts of meditation? There are many ways of doing meditation. The first part is concentration. You can concentrate on an object. You can light up a candle and stare at it without blinking your eyes. And then when you cannot keep it open, close your lids and then try to see it between the two eyebrows. This is called Tratak. Tratak. You can do many other things, many ways. There are thousands of ways of doing meditation. You can take an object, or you can take a few words. There is something called Ajapa Jap. Ajapa Jap. That means continuous recitation of a mantra. And Upanishad says you can continuously recite the name of Brahma while you are breathing. When you breathe in, so hum. When you breathe out, you say hum. So hum. You are, thou art me. ये आप अपने अंदर ये सोचें कि ब्रह्म, मैं ब्रह्म हूं, अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. ये सोहम मंत्र है. इसको हंस मंत्र भी बोलते हैं. उपनिषद में इसका वर्णन है. ये बहुत सरल है. इसका अभ्यास, if you practice regularly, you can do this continuously. And if you do this continuously, you will be able to do this even during your sleep. Even continuous, ajapa ajap. So the first stage is to concentrate. Let us say you concentrate on the Agya Chakra, the space between the two eyebrows. You can, different techniques. Gita says, Bhagavan Krishna says, you can concentrate on the tip of your nose. Somebody else says you can concentrate on the Anahat Chakra in the region of your heart. There are so many ways. So if you continuously keep your mind focused, first is to bring it to a focus, your mind, and then if you are continuously doing, that's called meditation. You can, but it's not easy. I will just let you all close your eyes. I cannot see you, but I want you to close your eyes and try to focus your mind between the two eyebrows. I'll give a pause. Try to focus your mind between the two eyebrows. You'll notice that the mind goes there for a second, 2, 5 seconds, 10, 15, whatever, and then it runs away. Why is it running away? The mind is running away because we are constantly stimulating the mind. Our 5 senses, sensory senses, Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, the action organs. Jnanendriyas are the eyes, the nose, the taste, hearing, touch. And action organs are your 2 hands, feet, your speech, reproductive organ, excretory and defecatory organs. So there are different. And man. What is man? Man is mind. It's not brain. There is a difference between the brain and the mind. So the brain is the collection of the action of all the neurons, and it has past actions, it has memory, subconscious memory, remote memory, recent memory. All these constitute what is called the mind. So our scriptures describe that you can control the mind. Like Srimad Bhagavat says, you do 15 times Vahya Pranayam and 50 times and 15 times Antar Pranayam. What am I meaning by that? Vahya Pranayam means you breathe out and hold your breath there as long as you can. And then breathe in. So that is called Vahya Pranayam. Antah Pranayam is that where you breathe slowly, what we call Purak. Purak, Kumbhak, and Rechak. There are 3 words. Purak is you breathe in slowly and hold your breath as long as you can, comfortably. and then slowly breathe out. It has to be a controlled process. There are, how do we say controlled? You can have, in the beginning, just do it easily, but then as you become more expert, you can give it a ratio. You breathe in, say, unit of 1. Let us say you recite the Gayatri Mantra 1 time while breathing in. Then when you are holding the breath, recite 4 times. And when you are breathing out, do it slowly, recite 2 times. So you are doing controlled breathing, and that is what is controlling the mind. So when you do, you select for yourself, okay, I'm going to plan this, this is my plan for doing this meditation, just like you make a plan for your classroom, for your lessons. You can make a plan for this pranayam and stick to that. That will give you tremendous willpower. Tremendous willpower. So Srimad Bhagavat says, if you do this Vahya pranayam and Antah pranayam 15 times in the morning, noon, and in the evening, you can try this experiment. The Srimad Bhagavat says after 30 days, you'll notice that your mind has calmed down. Meanwhile, you can practice the meditation and you can notice the difference, that the mind doesn't run away. So in the beginning, you can think of bringing your mind to the space between the 2 eyebrows. And as you go deeper, try to project a flame there. You'll see a flame there. And ultimately, when you can do that much concentration that you see a flame, then you enlarge the vision and you think of the whole sky, the space, Akash. You start meditating on the Akash, on the sky, because these 5 elements constitute the whole basic ingredient. They're all these 5 things, Kshiti, Jal, Pavak, Gagana, Samira. These are needed, these are used in every part of the creation. So then you start doing that. I cannot go into a lot of detail, but when you can meditate on the sky like that, you are doing teaching. I cannot tell you to meditate for 3 hours. That's only meant for people who have retired or who are following this path. So that is about pranayam. Pranayam can be many kinds. It can be anulom vilom, where you breathe alternate breathing. You can go to my YouTube video, Pranayam Suman, and see more about these pranayams. The next one is Kapal Bhati. You forcibly breathe out. The third is Bhastrika. So you have Suryabhedi, Chandrabhedi, Chitkari, and Brahmari. These are different ones which are used. If you do that regularly, it will make you healthy. But I just want to mention that as a teacher, you are setting an example to your students. Your students not only learn your subject which you specialize in, but they learn many things from your personality, from your daily routine. You set up an ideal to them. There are 5 things a person should do every day. 5 yagyas. 5 yagyas every day. And that is in the spirit that you are helping Bhagwan Ji run his creation. Number 1 is Brahma Yagya. Brahma Yagya means you study the scripture. You don't have to do this in that sequence, but if you can do it in the morning, you can only do it if you get up early. Brahma Muhurti. So you study the scripture. Now, this is Ishana Upanishad. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I'm not sure you can see. Okay, here it is. Ishana Upanishad. So when you recite the first shlok of the Ishavasya Upanishad, and you keep repeating this every day. Ishavasya sarvam yat kinsha jagatyam jagaten sakten bunjitha magrat kasya. Because this Kali Yuga, you live in this Kali Yuga for 24 hours, all kinds of physical, your body is getting stimulated, all your jnana indriyas are getting stimulated. So brain is very restless with all this stimulation, and it develops a lot of rajas qualities. So it does not let you calm down. So as you repeat this Brahma Yagya, it's a reminder, because you cannot say, oh, I have read this, I know what's in there. No, it has to be repeated. उसके लेयर रोज चढ़ाना पड़ता है, उस पर रंग चढ़ाना पड़ता है डेली, तब वो चमक उसमें आती है रंग में. एक बार पढ़ लेने से just studying once is not enough. The second is Dev Yagya, which means you worship whosoever is your Ishtadev. Whichever prayer you want to do Hanuman Chalisa, you want to do anything. Number 3, there are more elaborate descriptions of. Number 3 is Pitri Yagya. So fold your hands at least and bow down. If your parents are alive, touch their feet, get their blessings. If they are not alive, at least fold your hands in front of the picture. Or during Pitri Paksh, we are doing that Pitri Yagya. Number 4 is Bhut Yagya. Bhut Yagya is taking care of some animal. All the plants, you can water a plant every day. Some people water Tulsi ji. But if you don't have Tulsi, you can water any plant. And I remember my mother used to give some atta outside the house to feed the small insects. Atithi Yagya. You should have, you'll be lucky. A lot of times these days, people are so busy, nobody visits anybody. They're all busy with themselves. But Atithi is somebody who does not announce that he's coming. He does not telephone you ahead of time. Atithi. So you have to do that too. Take care of your guest. We talked about the different kinds of yoga. We're talking meditation mainly. But when I talk to people who are non-Hindus, and this is important because a few months ago, I was talking to some teachers that this Jativad is killing Hinduism, that you are Srivastav and you are Pandit, you are Thakur, and you are this and that. And that is the concept which non-Hindus are using to convert people. So yoga is something, Raj Yoga of Patanjali is a way they can all be taught. Everybody can learn. It's non-denominational. There is no worship of any particular deity in Raj Yoga. It's all about the mind. Learn it. Look into that. So this is one of the yogas, the yoga of meditation. It's called Raj Yoga. This is what in the 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda went to Chicago and he addressed the crowd there, World Religions Conference, and he talked about. So Raj Yoga is the answer. I hope I see Neha Srivastav in the audience. She will order the works of Swami Vivekananda on Raj Yoga. That's in English. I read that long time ago, many years ago. That is elaborating the Ashtanga Yoga. But recently, a Muslim doctor from Middle East has sought me and he wants me to teach him yoga. He's a neurosurgeon. So I'm teaching him this Raj Yoga Sutra. Raj Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. It is a book written by Swami Jyotirmayanand. He has written many books, 100 books. The guy is 90 years and he's very active, very healthy, very productive. He lives in Miami, Florida. So that is the yoga, Ashtanga Yoga we talk about. Ashtanga Yoga has 8 limbs of the yoga. And I was going over the Sermon on the Mount, which Christians refer to, which is the basis of Christian teachings, Sermon on the Mount. Jesus Christ went to the top of the mountain and he gathered his disciples and he taught. You can look at that when you have time. Sermon on the Mount. When I read that, I understood that there is a book called Lost Years of Jesus Christ. From the age of 12 to 30, nobody knows where Jesus Christ was. But I have read a book, Lost Years of Jesus Christ. He spent in India, going from one temple to the other, and he learned he went to the West Coast, to the East Coast, went to Kashmir. And when you read his Sermon on the Mount, of course, the language is different, the style is different, but I'm talking about the yamas and niyamas. There are five, they resemble them. 5 yamas are ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigrah. So, ahimsa means non-violence. That means you don't hurt anybody unless you are defending yourself, self-defense. That's different. I'm not talking about the soldiers. I'm not talking about the policemen. But I'm talking about in general. Number 2 is satya, truthfulness. If you only speak the truth, you will master the truth. Then whatever you say will become the truth. But you have to know the truth to speak the truth. So it's better to be quiet if you don't know the truth. Asteya means non-stealing. Do not steal. Which means do not covet anybody else's something, property, house. In this Kali Yuga, people covet somebody's wife, somebody's husband, somebody's boyfriend. That's all included in this asteya. Do not steal. Be fair. Only take what your share is. Brahmacharya, which means sex activity confined to marriage. The 5th one is aparigrah, non-covetedness. And Raj Yoga Sutra says that if you master this non-covetedness, you can tell about your past lives if you master that. Imagine that, what depth our literature has. But we are so engrossed in our children, our students are spending so much time on telephone, on the television, that they don't have time to study. They don't have time to reflect. Then we are coming to number 2, niyamas. 5 niyamas. 5 yamas, 5 niyamas. Number 1 niyam is shauch, cleanliness. So cleanliness is not just confined to your house, cleaning your room. Teach the students to clean your room, clean the house, clean your neighborhood, keep your city clean, keep your school clean, cleanliness. But this cleanliness is not just external. The cleanliness has to be internal also. Your mind also has to be cleaned. So in Kali Yuga, it is prescribed that you can do japam and kirtan, taking the name of Bhagwan, reading about his stories, listening about his stories, watching these stories about Bhagwan. That cleans the mind, cleansing. That's how it's. I recently saw something on the Ganesh serial, that in the Devasur Sangram, this Asur had pleased Lakshmi ji. And Lakshmi ji gave him a boon. Okay, I'll stay with you, because when you have Lakshmi on your side, then Shri is with you. You've heard the phrase Shrihin. वो आदमी तो श्रीहीन हो गया, कि उसका जो तेज था वो खत्म हो गया. तो श्री जिसके पास, तो लक्ष्मी जी को वो, he brought Lakshmi ji to his abode, and Lakshmi ji took a promise that you have to keep the place clean, and so many rules and regulations she laid down. So the Devasur Sangram was going on, and Devatas were losing. So they figured out, no, Lakshmi ji has to be brought back to Bhagwan Vishnu. Then only they will win. But nobody knew how to get Lakshmi ji there. So Ganesh ji came up with this thought that during the Samudra Manthan, I didn't know that, there is a elder sister of Lakshmi ji who came out first. So Alakshmi. So jahan bhi wherever there is dirt, clean this wherever there is darkness, when there is this place is not kept clean, and all kinds of impurities, there you find that she cannot stay there. So just like, remember why we clean our houses, paint our houses during Diwali? To clean everything so that Lakshmi ji may look at us and come to us. So this is the Saguna Upasana. But Ganesh ji found out Alakshmi. And make the long story short, he brought and substituted Lakshmi ji with Alakshmi. And the Asurs lost all their powers and they lost. So this is an interesting side story. So there are 5 niyamas. Shauch, santosh is number 2. If you're not happy, if you're not content, santosham paramam sukham. You can be happy only when you are content. Because if you're not content, you will keep doing things to get more, you'll be very unhappy. Next is tapas, tapasya, spiritual austerities. If you decide that this is the routine I'm going to follow, if you stick to that, in spite of your difficulties, then it's tapas. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means study of self. How do you study self? Atma ka. How do you study Atma? By exploring, by meditation, by studying the scriptures. So you have to do that Swadhyaya. But the last touch, the last niyam is Ishwar Pranidhan. That you believe that God, Bhagwan is controlling everything. He is the creator. He is the owner. He runs the show. I went to that gathering on Saturday and had a yoga booth and gave a talk there also. And somewhere I had a yoga teacher with me. And she demonstrated all the asanas. I used to do all the asanas before. I started doing at age 10. But as the body aged, I developed problems in my back. I fell down I was spraying apple trees and fell down from a ladder, broke my back. So that stopped a lot of exercises about the back. I had an auto accident, a neck injury. So that stopped my Shirsasana and Sarvangasana. So I had this yoga teacher with me, and she was demonstrating we had a session for children, and they had a corner. And so we had about 8, 10 children, and we taught them how to meditate, children. And they did asanas, they did pranayam. I wish our teachers can do that. I know that many of you have taken some training in yoga. One yoga teacher cannot teach everybody, all the 1800. So what I'm trying to say is that's number 3, the asanas. Asanas. Number 1 is yam, niyam. Number 3 is asan. So you can do different postures, different asanas. There are 36 basic asanas. Many of them are based on animal postures. But I hope that something can be done at the school so that all the teachers learn asanas. Now, many of you, I know, that cannot do many of the asanas, but those who can succeed. I saw on the internet a man who was paralyzed and had so much weight, and he kept doing the asanas, and it took him time, and then he lost. You can lose weight by doing pranayam because it controls your mind, your craving, your hunger will be reduced, and your appetite will be satisfied with small amount. So we're talking about the 5 niyamas. Now, asanas, and amazing that asana is done basically to prepare you for doing meditation. It is said, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, if you can sit for 3 hours without your leg going to sleep, that means you have mastered the asana. Now, of course, this is the goal. Maybe after you retire, then you can practice that. But it says, if you master the asana, then you conquer what is called pair of opposites. That's how the Patanjali Yoga Sutra describes. Garmi Thandak. It's very cold, it's very hot. Everybody is complaining. Global warming is going on. And everybody demands, I want to sit in the air conditioner. But when you're doing dhyan, when you're preparing for meditation, then if you master the yoga asanas, then you'll be able to conquer this pair of opposites. And there are a lot of pairs of opposites. I'm just describing. Pair of opposites is also like sukh and dukh. If you do yoga asanas every day, you can have samdrishti. It's amazing the power of yoga. So asanas have to be basically, you can sit in a chair. You don't have to sit cross-legged. The whole idea is that when you go into deep meditation, you should not fall off the chair. So number 4 is pranayam. We talked about the pranayam. Mind controls breathing and breathing controls the mind. This is a simplistic explanation, but it's more than that. But if you do regular pranayam, your mind will calm down. Number 5 is pratyahar. Pratyahar means detachment. We are 24 hours a day, or at least while we are awake, we are trying to please our jnanendriyas. We have so many desires. The mind, which is the king of all the indriyas, creates desires that I want to feel happy. So let's stimulate this Gyanendriya. And that stimulates the mind. So our mind is extrovert. And only by detachment that you realize that the three kinds of pleasure which we can get sattvic pleasure, we can get rajasic pleasure, we can get tamasic pleasure. Sattvic pleasure comes from contentment, the mind is calm. Rajasic pleasure comes by stimulating the mind. But that has consequences. If you stimulate your tongue a lot, you eat a lot, you'll put on weight. And that has long-term consequences, rajasic pleasures. I'm just giving one example. Then tamasic pleasure. I've heard the other day that the drug addiction is a problem amongst some of the Varanasi students. So we're trying to find somebody who will come and train the teachers to spot drug addiction in the students. So that's pratyahar. You learn detachment from the body pleasures. And all of that improves by meditation. You have to keep studying, keep actively trying to do pratyahar, but then of course, then the dharana, number 6, that's the concentration, and dhyan becomes easy, and last one is samadhi. So this is what we described as Patanjali Yoga, and here we must not forget that those who cannot do this Patanjali Yoga, they can do Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means you offer everything, whatever you do. Don't just work for salary, a reward. I have to do this, to do this. I know some of my employees in America used to count. Middle of the week, they are counting how many dollars have I earned so far. Constantly thinking of that. So that will give you rebirth if you keep working for reward. So when you do ajapa jap, like Soham I just mentioned earlier, then you'll be dedicating yourself, will be thinking of Bhagavanji all the time, and that will help you do the Karma Yoga. And of course, Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. There are many other parts. It's a complex and a deep subject. The fourth is Jnana Yoga. That is the knowledge which you acquire with the help of an accomplished teacher, guru. You study and reflect and practice, and that's how you get these. So I just, I'm very happy that there were 56 teachers who attended this discourse. And I'm going to stop here and see if somebody has any questions. Don't hesitate, because if you don't ask any questions, that means you're not been listening. So put your video on and I could answer a few questions. Start asking questions, otherwise I'll start asking you by name, because I have everybody's name displayed here. आप बताइए क्या दिक्कत है इसमें, क्या है संदेह आपको, what is the doubt you have?
सर प्रणाम।
हाँ, खुश रहिए साकेत जी। कितना सुना आपने?
सर एक्चुअली सर जब आपने प्राणायाम कॉन्सेप्ट पे आप बात कर रहे थे सर, मैंने वहाँ पे ज्वाइन किया आपको।
अच्छा।
एंड सर प्राणायाम के पहले जो भी बातें थी सर वो मैं तो मिस कर गया। तो सर अगर पॉसिबल हो हल्का सा उस पे सर अगर प्रकाश डाल दें आप तो।
नहीं, ये तो बड़ा अच्छा आपने कहा, क्योंकि टीचर्स तो हमारे यहाँ 75 हैं, देयर आर 75, और
जी,
खाली अभी तो चले गए, कुछ लोग चले गए, अभी इस वक्त 51 है। तो
जी,
इसको रिकॉर्ड किया है उन्होंने,
जी,
अजय श्रीवास्तव ने इस टॉक को रिकॉर्ड किया है। आप लोग अ, उनसे मांगिए, वो ही विल
श्योर,
डिस्ट्रीब्यूट। तो हम तो
जी,
चाहेंगे कि ये स्टूडेंट्स को भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो, ये जाए वहां पर, यूट्यूब में भी जाए।
जी सर।
तो आई एम ग्लैड टू सी यू।
थैंक यू सर।
और बताइए, और लोग क्या है भाई? कोई किसी के पास प्रश्न ही नहीं है कोई? ऐसी भी क्या बात? मिस्टर विशाल त्रिपाठी, आई सी योर नेम देयर। आप अपना वीडियो ऑन करिए, बताइए व्हाट इज द
Yes, sir,
क्वेश्चन
Pradam.
यू है। खुश रहिए।
Sir, first of all, sorry for the video because there is no electricity proper. Sir, my first question is that about the children uh, who are doing meditation in the class while after coming from the assembly, but they are not involved themselves. They are unable to do meditation properly. Somehow they open their eyes. Somehow they start talking while having meditation. So how can we handle them?
यस, यस। तो इट्स अ प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट। आप उनको पहले लेट अस से 10-15 बार पहले डीप ब्रीदिंग कराइए।
Sure, sir.
बस कहिए आंख बंद करो और सांस, लंबी सांस लो, धीमे धीमे निकालो। गेट देम टू रिलैक्स। तो उनको कोई पॉइंट बताने में, अ, जैसे गीता में भगवान ने कहा कि नाक के सामने, नाक का जो नाक की नोक है उस पर उनका ध्यान लगाए। अब वैसे तो त्राटक का है, लेकिन आप कैंडल वगैरह तो नहीं जलाएंगे वहाँ क्लासरूम में, लेकिन आप त्राटक का कराइए, अभ्यास कराइए। और उनको अ, हम तो चाहेंगे कि ये बच्चे सीखें जब योगा क्लास होता है उसमें, और ध्यान से। लेकिन आप उनको 1-2 मिनट से ज्यादा तो समय नहीं दे सकते हैं इसके लिए।
Yes, sir.
इट्स ए गुड क्वेश्चन।
Thank you, sir.
मिसेस नयन तारा सहगल, आपसे बहुत दिन हो गया बात किए हुए, आप बोलिए। कैन यू पुट योर वीडियो ऑन? नहीं, वो तो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई। मिसेस बुनिस्मता मोहराना, आपके पिताजी का क्या हाल है?
He is not well. He is not well means like a child only.
या
Yes, yesterday I reached here, and in my house also all are suffering from dengue and typhoid. So that's why
Oh
I
my.
was in hospital, and just now I reach at home. Situation is worst. All are
Yes.
hospitalized. I can just manage because kidney is not working properly, infection, and gallbladder having hole. Uh, Also diabetes is also not in control, 400. So daily 3 insulins are there for my father. Situation is worst, but he's managing and out of from ICU. That is only good symptom.
Hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Mrs. Namita Saigal.
Good evening, sir.
हाँ, यहाँ पर तो सवेरा है, but that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. बताइए, you have to say something?
I have listened your words. I have also start from some times before the yoga and the Brahmi means the Anulom Vilom.
Yes.
So I think it is very good for everyone because it removes the anxiety and the tension, everything. And I also use this for my kids also, like warm up exercise.
ये ठीक है। अभी जो इसके पहले प्रश्न पूछा था उन्होंने, त्रिपाठी ने, कि बच्चे वो करते हैं कंसंट्रेट
yes,
नहीं,
sir.
उनसे खाली अनुलोम विलोम कराइए, उनसे खाली अनुलोम विलोम कराइए 1 मिनट, तो वही करने में शांत हो जाएंगे. They will relax by doing just Anulom Vilom.
जी sir.
Good to
Good
talk
session.
to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else before? Dakshraj Tiwari, आप बोलिए.
प्रणाम सर, मैं ओशीन.
हाँ बोलिए, क्या हाल है?
हाँ सर, गुड इवनिंग सर. Sir, before we end this meeting, I would like to share one thing that since lockdown, you have taken one more meeting regarding this pranayam and meditation session when we all were in lockdown. And after that meeting, I have started doing pranayam and meditation on regular basis, and I'm reaping the benefits now. My work, my concentration at work has increased, and I feel that my mind and my anger has been controlled. And I feel more, I can take charge of my mind now. I have been doing it since 2 years. Yes.
That's nice to hear. एक बार कई साल पहले I talked about 16 sanskars to the teachers. तो उसमें I talked about Garbhadhan sanskar. So how to conceive to get a very good child. क्योंकि I went to माघ मेले में, जो महा मेला होता है उसमें, तो स्वामी एक थे शंकराचार्य कांची के, उनसे हमने पूछा कि हम हिंदुस्तान में तो सब लोग हिंदू धर्म है, वहाँ सब लोग तो ट्रेनिंग हो जाती है, देखा देखी भरा हुआ चारों तरफ, लेकिन अमेरिका में तो हम लोग माइनॉरिटी हैं, यहाँ कैसे बच्चों को अपने रास्ते पर लगाएं? तो उन्होंने यही बोला कि आप 16 संस्कार करिए सब बच्चों का. वो संस्कार इज जस्ट लाइक ए सीड, आपने जमीन में लगा दिया और पौधा अपने आप निकलेगा, उसमें बढ़िया पौधा. तो I was surprised कि one teacher told me कि sir, you have been talking about 16 sanskars and I tried it and I consulted a proper person so that in our marriage we conceived according to the Garbhadhan sanskar. So I'm happy to see that some people take some pearls of the wisdom. Yes. I'm happy to see that you have improved. Yes. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have 1 more minute left. If anybody wants to ask a question or make a comment. Okay. Well, I wish you all very well. It's good to meet you all. Thank you very much. Acha. Namaskar.